If a country is to be corruption free and become a nation of beautiful minds, I strongly feel there are three key societal members who can make a difference. They are the father, the mother, and the teacher. Beginning our today's episode on this note, I welcome you all to a new episode of Edunation TV powered by the Global School Awards. Today, our topic of discussion is how teaching is the most challenging job in the world. And for that, today we have joined live with Mr. Sadananda Hotta, who is the principal of DAV Vedanta International School from Orissa. So, over to you, sir, to just give introduction to our viewers.
Hi everyone, good evening. How are you doing? I think many people will join me and we'll have a very live discussion. Hi Udavir. Uh, I am Mr. Sadananda Hotta, as Udavir already told you. I am the principal of DAB Vedanta International School, Orissa. I'm really thankful to Education TV and Global School Awards that they have arranged this program and they've invited me to live to speak with you all. And I'm sure we'll have a very live session and I will share my opinion, ideas about it. And Udaybir is a very good host and I think we'll have a very live session. I welcome
Thank
you
you.
all.
So we begin with that.
Yeah.
Today, beginning with the discussion, the first point I'll put on to the audience and to you as well, sir, is that
Mm.
teachers are no doubt arguably the most important members of a society. They give children the purpose, set them up for success as citizens of our world, and inspire them in a drive to do well and succeed in life. So,
Right,
as we are seeing
right.
these days, as we are going through this current pandemic crisis, teachers are the ones who are facing the most challenges as they're trying to cope up with the technology and providing online education, in which
Mm.
parents are seen joining the classes and pointing out anything done wrong by the teachers on the live session itself. So, it can be the minutest errors on the end of a teacher, it can be minutest of human errors. So, what are
Yeah.
your views on this particular point?
Udavir, I would say in this regard that the teachers are the most adaptable human beings in the world. They
Right.
can
That's
adjust, adapt with any situation. Nobody has ever imagined that there will be a day where a teacher who has taught for 30 years live classroom with the children will have to go for a device, have to download something called Zoom, something called Google, or something called Microsoft, and will have to learn to teach live online. First of
Mhm.
all, I must say we have to give courage to the teachers for being lifelong learners. Hats up to them. They know how to adjust, how to cope up, how to face the challenges of life. That's why I always say teaching is the most challenging job. Second thing, now a teacher has been habituated teaching children in the classroom live. Now, first time they are going through technology, they're going through online classes, and parents are sitting, which the teachers may not know, which the teachers have never realized or never have ever gone through that kind of a trauma or that kind of a experience. Now, even though a parent sits in front of the TV or in front of the laptop or mobile and watches the teacher live, I think the first and foremost duty of the parent is to encourage and to thank the teacher to do so much for the child beyond the practicality that the teacher has ever faced yet. So
Absolutely.
instead of finding such small mistakes, which is quite natural in a live session, and that too when there are 50 children in the background and the teacher cannot see what the children all children are doing, and while he's
Right.
teaching, first of all he's coping up with the technology, coping up with the online session, then he's talking to the children without meeting them directly on one-to-one basis, plus he's doing a lot of research on taking a class for 30 minutes. In that case, I think this is too much for the parent to expect that the teacher will not
Right.
make mistakes.
So,
Nobody in
sir,
the world has done. Hmm.
we have seen certain videos as well going viral in which the students are seen teasing the teachers. So
Right.
I don't think that is at all appropriate at our levels to even think of doing that. So what are your views on that? What I think what can be done in this is at a personal level that the video mode should be enabled for all the students when the live sessions are going on, because whenever this situation has happened or the video has gone viral, we have seen that mostly the students had a different name and were not with a video on. So my suggestion only firstly would be that the video should be live from the students end. So what are your inputs on that?
Right. Uh, in a live classroom session, like in a classroom setup, you would have different kind of children. Some would be naughty, some would be very good, some would be playing pranks that generally happens. So how does a teacher handle them? Because the children are in front of him, he has an eye contact with every one of them, so he knows how to handle these naughty kids, how to handle these kids who are bullying or who play pranks. Now this is
Right,
an altogether different situation, it's a session online. Even though you, that thing you suggested to keep the video mode on, okay, you keep the video mode on, but there are 60 children and on a screen 60 won't appear at the time. There are, technology has its own disadvantages. Now
right, right,
I'll go back to your previous suggestion question that you said parents are sometimes expecting too much from the teachers and they are pointing out the mistakes. So in this regard, I would request the parents, if you can sit with the children and monitor the teaching of your teacher, why can't you monitor the behavior of your children also? because
absolutely.
because your teacher cannot see your child, the teacher cannot see what exactly 60 children are doing, but you as a parent are sitting next to your child, you know what your child is doing. That's it. Secondly, uh, children need to understand that all these things are done only for their welfare and only for their well-being. See,
Right,
even if a teacher takes an online class, if a teacher is not self-motivated, if the teacher doesn't want to give the best of his knowledge, no child in the world can complain against the teacher that the teacher is not giving the best of each. They can say the
right,
teacher is not teaching good. Then say the teacher is not meeting timetable. They will say the teacher is not giving homework. But can anybody complain that the teacher is not teaching from the heart? So how it will come? It will only come when the response from the opposite side is good. So that's why I would expect that the children, whoever are into this, should understand that the teachers are only doing good for them. They need to be good to their teachers. And parents have a very strong role here because they are watching their children attending classes, sometimes which the teacher might not be able to see. Okay,
right.
my expectation.
Absolutely, I agree with you. So, sir, moving ahead, I would talk about the sacrifice the teachers make in the teaching progress and the teaching system. The
Right.
sacrifice, what I believe is teachers don't have a holiday in true sense because they
Mm,
plan and about students even in holidays, and leave
mm,
alone the holidays. They even
mm.
work for students after going from schools. So, do you agree with me on this?
I absolutely agree with you. I'll tell you that I have my friends in different sectors, some in banking, some in police, some in civil service. And mostly I find from the near and dear ones, they have a common complaint. Teachers have a lot of holidays. Teachers have their summer vacation. Teachers have their winter vacations. Teachers have their Durga Puja. You know what is my answer for them? Teachers do not have a single holiday in their life. And I will prove it here in this session, in this live session. And I dedicate all these to my dearest teachers, to all the teachers in the world, that my teachers, really, you do not have a holiday, and I will prove it. Look, when you have a
Mhm.
summer vacation, when am I audible, Uday?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when we have a summer vacation, what do the teachers do before that? They prepare something called summer homework, holiday homework. They give it. In a winter vacation, they give winter holiday homework. And in the holidays, more than 6 days and 7 days when they get, we principals give them a lot of work to do in the holiday, to plan for the next, and they are so, I mean, so excited when they come back after summer vacation. They will meet their children, they plan their lessons, they prepare their curriculum, they they prepare their activity plans, all these things. And whenever whenever they are on a leave, they are going out. For example, they are on a hill station. Somebody will call them and say, "Ma'am, I have this problem, I have that problem." Have you ever seen or heard a teacher saying, "No, I'm on a holiday, I'm not going to answer you"? Never.
Never.
And even it's 9 o'clock at night, a parent would call, my ma'am, my child is not well, he's not going to school tomorrow. And the teacher gets back to her or him and says, "Oh my God, what happened? I'll take care, don't worry." So teachers are always on duty, according to me. And even with the 8 hours work they do in the school, when they go back home, the teachers, you might have seen, carrying a bundle of notebooks to check at home. And they all the exam papers never have been checked in the school. All these unit test papers, half yearly, annuals, uh, if they don't have time in school, they take back home, they correct, they kill their personal time, they kill the time that they should have given to their husbands, to their children. So in true sense, teachers really do not have holidays, and the society must understand that.
Yes, sir. That is absolute sacrifice from the teachers, which is being done. So apart from this, another thing I'll like to put in front of the audience as well as to you, sir. According to my point of view, teachers are the
Mm,
pillars of education. And for
right,
teachers, their biggest achievement is success of the students, right? So,
exactly.
sir, you being a teacher and heading a school as a principal, how would you address on this particular point?
Well, I I have been a teacher for last 23 years, and I have been also a principal. It gives me a lot of contentment when I get to know that one of my children, one of my students, is in Dubai, one is in USA, one is in Canada, one is in German, somewhere somebody is working in Samsung, somebody is working in Google. So when I get to know the things and they say, "Sir, I am getting a package of that. I'm getting a package of that. Sir, I have won this prize. Sir, I have done that." If my heart fills with pleasure, I believe it could be happening with everyone, all teachers. And a teacher is not only happy with the salary or with the recognition that he or she gets. Beyond that, there is a lot of contentment, there is a lot of satisfaction that a teacher gets when his own students or her own students get the success in life. And no teacher ever in the world has run for money, I must tell you, because the society, the country, the government, the agencies can never pay for the service, the sacrifice that the teacher does. So what gives him satisfaction? The satisfaction only comes from success of his
Right.
students. When he get to know that some alumni come, some old students come and they say, "Sir, I'm doing that, I'm doing this." So that gives us fulfillment, that gives us happiness. So I must agree with you that the teacher's best satisfaction is the success of the children. But at the same time, the teacher will also expect that the students who have been successful in life should contribute to the society also, because we also, as a teacher, we are nation builders, we are the ones responsible for upliftment of the society, so they should also contribute for the society. That's my expectation from my students.
Right. So we discussed currently just about how the selfless teachers are for their students, and what they expect in return is that a student just gives them a call after they are successful and tell, "I am placed here, or I am working this in this particular industry, or I am a businessman now, and I just want to invite you." So this is the entire thing a teacher works for in her or his entire career, right?
Right, right,
So
right.
apart another thing I'd like to address is to address in a point in which I'm sure you will agree as well, that everyone has a personal life. So
Yeah.
do our teachers have one? And teachers can also, like a normal human being, have a bad day, like any other normal person. So still they have to
Mm,
be the role model for the students and at all times in school and otherwise. So how
mm,
would
mm.
you make your suggestion or thought on this?
Yeah, your question gives a smile on my face. Why? I generally compare teachers with comedians, with the jokers, not in a
Right.
very bad sense, in a very positive sense. I must agree. I must tell all my listeners, all the people who have all my guests, that I say teachers are jokers, not in a negative sense, in a very, very positive sense. Why? Because when a joker goes to the stage, a lot of sorrow, a lot of dissatisfaction might be in the heart, but he will have to smile on stage because a comedian, a joker has to make people laugh. In case of a teacher, the best teaching aid of a teacher is a smile. So the teacher will have to smile in the classroom for sure to make a classroom live, to make a classroom interesting, and to capture the attention of the children. So
Right.
personal feelings apart, the teacher needs to be professional every single minute. So the classroom needs to be happy, the environment should be happy, the teacher should have a wide smile on the face, even though the teacher has a lot of sorrow inside the mind. That's my first thing. Second thing is, the teachers are the most professional beings because, in a sense, if you say they don't have a personal life at all, how 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 is it? Let's discuss. A teacher goes in the evening, a lady teacher goes in the evening and takes pani puri in the market. Next morning, 10 of the kids run to her and say, ma'am, I saw you in the pani puri shop yesterday evening. A gents teacher who walks out in the market in a shorts, in a half pant, 20 people next day will say, sir, I have seen you there in the market. You were walking with a t-shirt and a shorts. So what do you
Mhm.
mean to say it? What do you mean to say it? Teachers are being observed by thousands of eyes, by thousands of eyes. So what do they do? How they behave, how they talk, how they walk. So that all are being reflected and all are being watched and commented
True.
upon. So when you are a teacher, you are a celebrity by default because people will follow you. People will speak about you. People will never speak about anybody who is into a different profession. If you are not wearing a proper dress and you are into a meeting, everybody will say, look how a teacher is dressed. When you are doing something which is not expected of you, everybody will come and look, he's a teacher. So a teacher have to walk by just counting the steps every single moment because he's a teacher. That's why what you said, I absolutely agree on this, that a teacher's role is a very, very responsible role, and personal life something is perhaps is a dream for them because they live for the children and they live for the society, and they always and always try to be a role model, and that will only happen when they behave well and they project themselves well. So that's what we expect from the teachers.
Right, right. So teachers are absolutely a role model, as Sarah just portrayed.
I tell you one thing, Udaybir, I'll tell you an experience. When I
Mhm.
started my career way back in 1997 and 2000, in between that, there were flat pants, you call it baggy pants in those days, baggy pants and loose shirts. So I used to wear a baggy pant with a wide belt and a loose shirt. One of my students who was reading in class 11, so he started following the similar kind of a shirt, and his parents told him, his parent was one of my colleagues also. I remember the name, Subarna Madam. So she said, I wearing such kind of a pant, short kind of a trouser. He said, no, Hotta sir used to wear it. Look how smart he looks. So I follow him. So this single example I remember till date. Okay, what you do, teachers, children exactly imitate you. They follow you. I had a spec which was a flat rimmed spec. Salman Khan used to wear in those days. I'm talking about 2001 and 2. Uh, 3, 4 of my students started buying a same framed spectacle because Hota sir was wearing that. So, that's why we need to understand that teachers have to behave such a way that the children will learn good things from them, not bad things. So that will make your life full of happiness as a teacher. I think that you created examples for others.
So, apart from this 30-minute session, I would just like to address our audience that
Mm.
Mr. Sadananda is a beautiful personality and a gem of a person. So, I think this 30 minutes or 20-minute session will fall short of his stories. I was having a word with him before the session as well, before we had gone live. and it is an absolute pleasure having him over on Edunation TV for this beautiful session which he has addressed to us. And he has just portrayed out stories beautifully, and uh, I don't think he can just finish his stories in a span of 20 to 30 minutes. He has a huge amount of career of 23 years, and this even 30 minutes will fall short even if a story is for a minute. Right. So, sir, apart from this, I will just like to know your view on the new education policy, like a general view, what you would like to comment on that.
Yeah. Look, new education policy, it's really a welcome step. But one thing, we need to see the implementation of that particular thing,
Right,
because
right, right.
it has given an entirely new dimension to the education, which was long standing, long outstanding, and we all expected that the education policy should change. And particularly when the higher education degrees to be made into 4 years, and there is a multiple exit and entry things, that an option is before
Right,
the
right, right.
learner whether to exit early to get a diploma. Then all these categorization and the liberal attitude of the policy is a very welcome step. And particularly for the early childhood, when they thought about pre-primary and made a different segregation of this altogether, it's really very good thing. But now the next thing is to expect the real implementation. And it's not only the government job, the teachers, the policymakers, everybody needs to take it in true sense. So I'm really very hopeful about the new education policy.
That is great. The only thing I was addressing to various principals, teachers, and directors I have a word with all across the day is the new education policy. So
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are of very positive note that it is a very good thing. But the only
right.
thing when I say to them the implication, so they say it can be implicated. But when I say how, I think there is some lacking in that because the teachers themselves are not yet completely introduced that how it will be implicated into,
Exactly.
because
See,
it is a series of things.
the
It is a series of
teachers,
things.
the teachers, the principals, the administrators, the state government, everybody has to be taken into the loop to make it implemented. Because we have different state boards. Altogether, there are many state boards in the country. So when you bring them to one umbrella, you need to bring everybody into consent. Everybody
Right.
needs to tell their point of view. Then you just cannot make a single umbrella for everything unless and until you take everybody's views, their socio-economic background, their geographical background, everything to need. See, it's a tedious job, but let's be hopeful that it will be successful and everything will be
Yes.
all right in a few years.
I completely
Yeah,
align with your point. So it was a
right.
wonderful session with you, and it was great having you over on Edunation TV. I thank you for giving your precious time to us. So, anything you would like to add on to this, sir?
No, thank you. Devir, you are a very wonderful host, and Education TV is doing a good job in this lockdown period. At least we are interacting with a group of people. We are sharing our views, and Global School Award is taking a really welcome step. It's a good thing. So let's continue such things in future as well, so that we can
And
reach more and more greater audience. Okay.
right. An absolute pleasure having you, sir. So I would just request the viewers to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. That is under the name of Edunation TV, and we'll be updating you over there as well. And tomorrow we are also coming up with a live session with with one of the doctors of criminology. So we'll be updating for that as well. Tomorrow at 5:30, we'll be having you. And I thank Mr. Sadananda Hotta for giving his precious time and joining in with us. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot.
Thank you, Davir, and thank you all the viewers who have joined. Thank you very much for listening me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.